Hello, welcome to another book report. Uh, got a little one, another little book, a pretty good investment series. Anyway, the little book of investing for like the pros, 5 steps for picking stocks, by Joshua Pearl and Joshua Rosenbaum. Forward by Howard Marks. So, unlike the last little book I reviewed, this one was really pretty good. I think I liked it a lot. I didn't read every I didn't read every section because I've been studying this for a long time now, 20 years almost. Uh, so a lot of this was a review, but it was a very thorough, detailed review. Um, I think the weakest section was idea generation. They're definitely looking at investment ideas from a uh, technical, well, maybe not technical in terms of charts, but just looking at numbers. And I don't like that. I like to look at industries. I mean, they do mention that as a top-down approach, but the way they divide the top down, I think, is pretty old school. They're very much into like growth uh, um, versus value, and I'm a big fan of ARK investment funds approach of disruptive exponential growth, potentially exponential growth companies, as being the most attractive long-term bets, particularly right now. And I tend to agree with that. And so they're pretty old school. But actually, that's another piece that I really liked, is that, okay, it covered stuff that I'm familiar with in terms of investing, particularly looking at fundamentals, getting price targets, really important stuff for anybody who really wants to pick individual stocks. Um, it really covers. It's very thorough, and gives examples, and would really be a great. This is like a great one-stop shop. One, yeah, one-stop shop uh, for picking individual stocks, evaluating them, figuring out what price to buy them at, um, whether they're a good price or not. Valuations, all that kind of stuff. Now, they do not cover technical analysis at all, but but the most successful investors in history have never don't really do technical analysis. They don't really look at charts much. It's just, is this stock at a price that I think is a good buy or not? Yes or no? And that's it. So, and that's kind of where these guys are coming from. Uh, anyway, the fact that they are kind of old school was one of the things I really liked about it. It was sort of a window into how a fund manager or a more Wall Street professional type would approach all these things and look at things. It was definitely from that perspective. I mean, these guys are have a lot of Wall Street experience, I believe. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, maybe not Wall Street tech, literally, but you know, uh, big money like UBS. One of them worked for UBS. Anyway, um, so yeah, if you if you want to learn fundamental analysis and how to evaluate and find price targets and valuations on individual stocks, um, from an old school perspective, which I think is valuable in and of itself. I mean, just, you don't have to follow them exactly, but everybody has something to teach. And anyway, great book. Honestly, if I had read this 20 years ago, I'd probably buy it. But I kind of have a lot of what they're teaching. I've already gotten spreadsheets, and it's like I've kind of developed my own systems now. So, um, but if I was just starting out, I would probably actually buy a copy of this. It's that good. I mean, it covers everything you need for fundamental analysis and individual stock picking, and is very thorough. So I would recommend it. It's one of the better. I mean, I like the Little Book series in general. In fact, the first bad one was my last review, the one about cyclical. It's like for swing traders. But anyway, I would say this is one of the better ones in the series. Really get into the nitty gritty. All right. Until next time, happy reading.